It's been so long, I don't even know how to work this thing. Alright guys, today I wanted to talk about the ketogenic diet. I've heard a lot about friends trying it, friends of friends trying it, and then they're interested in it, and truthfully, I have no problem with it whatsoever. I don't have any problem with the ketogenic diet. But when I do have a problem is when someone comes to me and says that their ketogenic diet is going to help them lose more fat than any other diet on the planet. That is just not the case. There is nothing that is special about the ketogenic diet that is going to make you lose fat. When people go from eating 3,000 calories in a day to eating 1,500 because they're on a ketogenic diet and they're more conscious of the whole food sources that they're eating, of course they're going to lose fat because they've decreased their caloric intake by 1,500 calories. So of course they're going to lose fat. It's nothing special about the meats that they're eating or the fact that they're eating fewer carbs in a day. It's nothing about that. They're just eating fewer calories than they used to, therefore they're losing fat. They could have been eating Twinkies for all I care, and they still could have lost fat as long as they're eating less than they were beforehand. So with the ketogenic diet, just remember that there's nothing special about it. However, I do think that there are some good things that can come from ketogenic diet, Whole30, stuff like that. It makes you very aware of the foods that you are eating. So if you haven't really tracked food before, you don't want to track your macros, and you want to try a ketogenic diet, like I said, don't try it just because you think it's going to help you lose more fat, but it might be a good idea because it's going to help you realize what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. That's definitely a pro of the ketogenic diet. Another pro is you're using ketones for energy. So ketones are just a byproduct of fat that is processed in your body, and so when your carbs are low, that's going to be used as energy. Now, that has been shown to help with seizures. It helps people feel more clarity mentally, so on and so forth. But I mean, if that's your gig, go for it. Usually for females, that's going to be about eating, no more than like 20 to 30 grams of carbs in a day, and males just a little bit above that. I have epilepsy. I went to an epileptologist last month. He didn't say anything about the ketogenic diet. Seizure 101, I don't know what he was thinking. But if he did say something about it, I would have said, dude, have you heard of pizza? Have you heard of pizza? Have you heard of pizza? Because I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. My meds are working perfectly fine. I'm just not at a point where I'm willing to do that right now. And I mean, that's just where I'm at. Pizza's just the best. All right, so cons of ketogenic diet. You're eating super low amount of carbs. And the other one is it's going to be much more difficult, if not impossible, for you to build muscle. The carbohydrate that you need to build muscle, and remember, building muscle is super important no matter what your goal is, because you're trying to make sure that your metabolism is cranking when you're outside of the gym. So you're trying to increase that basal metabolic rate, and the way to do that is by increasing your lean muscle mass. Anyway, the macro that you need for that is carbohydrates. When you have carbohydrates, those are broken down into glycogen. That is then stored in your muscles and your liver for later use if needed, or it's used to replenish all of those cells that you drained during your resistance training. So when you're low on carbohydrates, like you would be in a ketogenic diet, your body is going to try to eat up fats and proteins and turn them into glycogen in order to fuel those cells. So you're running a little bit of a risk of losing lean muscle mass in order for your body to keep up with the demand that you're giving it. So if you're trying to build muscle, I definitely don't recommend ketogenic diet either. So with the ketogenic diet, guys, remember, there's nothing special about it. The only way people are losing weight is because they're eating less than they were before, and they'll realize that if they end up tracking their food intake. There's no special food that you're eating in there. There's no special magic factor that's helping you lose fat. You can eat Twinkies and Oreos and Pop-Tarts. As long as you're eating less than you burn in a day, you're going to lose fat. So remember that. If you go into it, one of the great things that you'll notice is that you will be able to see what you're putting in your body. You'll be eating a lot more whole food sources. You'll probably feel a lot clearer mentally because those processed carbohydrates are a lot lower, and you're using those ketones for fuel. Cons. You're eating super low amount of carbs in a day. So when people ask you to go out for pizza or Olive Garden for breadsticks, you're gonna be miserable, and that sucks. Another con is building muscle. Like I said, if you're trying to maintain lean muscle mass or build muscle, I wouldn't recommend going on that ketogenic diet, guys, because you're trying to make sure that you can have enough carbohydrates to, one, fuel your workouts and restore those glycogen stores after those muscles are drained, and then also have enough glycogen left over in your liver or in those cells to be used for your next training session, to make sure that protein and fats aren't getting broken down into glycogen in order to fuel those cells. So yeah, guys, those are the things I have with the ketogenic diet. I'm not completely against it. I don't highly recommend it. I'm just kind of whatever. The only time I have a problem is when someone says, "Oh, this is the best thing to happen to fat loss." It's magic. It's not. Don't believe them. There's nothing that they're doing about it that's magic. They're just eating less than they burn in a day. So if you have any questions about any sort of fad diets, anything like that, or you want to just hear me rant more about the fad diets, just let me know. Go ahead and follow me on social media. Subscribe to this YouTube channel because you'll get notifications every single time a new video is uploaded. Other than that, guys, I hope you're having an awesome hump day. Don't know if this will get uploaded on a hump day, but if it's passed, I hope your hump day was awesome, and we'll see you guys later.